your age?
22 as of last week.
If we were dating and a guy slid into your DMs, how would you handle it?
I wouldn't answer. And you know what? This is my case study right here. I was dating a guy, it was very public, and Lil Wayne slid in my DMs and I didn't answer.
Lil Wayne, Lil Tucci, Lollipop, 6 foot, 7 foot.
Lick me like a lollipop. Yep.
What did he even say to you?
He sent me a rose.
And then?
And then I didn't answer until I broke up with my ex.
Did he hit you back after?
Yeah. He's a friend. But I didn't answer him while I was in a relationship because if a man slides in my DMs, unless if it's a business inquiry, I'll show it to my boyfriend and I'll ask him what his thoughts are and I'll run it by him. But I would never answer a man in my DMs that has ill intentions without talking to my boyfriend.
But wait, this is Lil Wayne we're talking about. So why wouldn't you give a man who is that successful a response?
Well, it was a conversation I had with my ex and he didn't want me to respond. And also he just sent me a rose. It wasn't an inquiry of any sort, so it just didn't seem proper for me to answer that.
Now that's how you would handle it. Would you want me to handle it the same way?
Yeah, of course. Of course. No double standards here.
In 2025, you will never, ever be her only one. You'll never be her only one, especially if she's on the prettier side. We're talking about your 7s, 8s, and 9s. Listen, even your average woman, you are never the only one. A woman always has a backup. She's always has a backup. Listen, this started off great, right? It started off great, right? She started talking about, yeah, Lil Wayne slid into my DMs. And listen, I ignored him. Right? I was in a relationship and I ignored him. No, not technically no. Right? She kept it on the back burner. Right? That was something for her to use in case that current man went left. That current man went wrong. You think that she wouldn't jump up in happiness for the opportunity to be in Lil Wayne's presence? Of course, most of these women will if any celebrity hopped into their DMs. But this is just a prime example of, listen, you have celebrities sliding into your girl's DMs. You have ball players, big time entrepreneurs, Dubai princes, right, sliding into your girl's DMs. This is what the dating world in 2025 have come to. This is what relationships, marriage, and dating has come to. Everyone has so much access, right? Or let me rephrase that, right? The women have a lot more access. Only the top 10, top 20% have the real access to all the women, right? The bulk of women, right? The bulk of women, even if she's average looking, right? I've seen countless Instagram profiles of, right, fat women. They're making a bank on OnlyFans, right? Mid women, nerdy looking women. It doesn't matter at this point, right? Because men are starving so bad. Men are starving so bad, they're willing to wave their dollars at whoever is willing to show them some attention, right? Who's ever willing to take a little bit of clothes off and show a little bit of skin. Men are desperate out here, right? But this goes to show you hypergamy is undefeated. Hypergamy is undefeated, right? I think there was a survey done months ago, right? Or last year, I think, where women were asked if they have a backup plan, right? If they have a backup man, right? In case something goes wrong with the current man that they're with. The majority, I don't remember the percentages, but the majority said yes, right? The majority said yes, I have a backup plan. I know who to go to. I have a best friend. I have a male best friend. I have this guy over here. I have this guy that's a beta male orbiter, right? Or I have a few beta male orbiters that I can give a shot to if this doesn't work out. Women are never alone. Women are never single, right? They're never single. They're always dealing with somebody and they always have a backup plan. See, the difference between men and women, right, is that men have to get to a certain point where, one, they can afford to deal with multiple women, and two, they have the leisure to deal with multiple women. Most men don't have that leisure. Most men don't have the finances to even deal with one woman. See, all that a woman has to bring to the table is her beauty, right? And what's between her legs. Let's just call a spade, right? This is, we can't sugarcoat, right? All a woman has to bring to the table is what's in between her legs and her beauty, her prettiness. That is it, right? A man, on the other hand, what, you have to bring resources, ninja. You have to have a boat, right? You have to drive a nice car. You have to have a good career. You have to be an entrepreneur, right? You got to be the head honcho, top shotter. You have to be all of these things just to get access, right? Or if you hit the genetic lottery, that's another one. Now, if you hit the genetic lottery, sometimes you don't have to have as much resources as somebody who didn't hit the genetic lottery. But all in all, you still have to bring more. You still have to bring more to the table than most of these women will ever bring to the table. Now, listen, I don't want to say that your girl, I don't want to say it's your girl, but it's your girl, right? Your girl is just your turn. That is it, right? You don't know who's who anymore. You don't know who slid in whose DMs. You don't know who she's been around. You don't know who or what party she's been to. You don't know who been up in her guts. Listen, you might as well just assume the worst. Right now, I'm not trying to be a pessimist. I'm not trying to be that kind of guy. But listen, you have to assume the worst. I know a chick right now, a girl that I work with, right? She's actually a manager, right? She's actually a manager, and she told me straight up. She told me who it was, and she was like, "Yeah," because I stay out here in the DFW. She was like, "Yeah, I mess around with this guy on the Dallas Cowboys football team, right?" And he be messaging her when they come in town, and he be spanking her up and all of that stuff. And she admitted to it. But listen, it's across the spectrum. Right? It's a large spectrum. It's across the spectrum. It could be, your coworker, right? And she could be mid, right? The girl that I'm referring to at work, she's mid, but she got a fatty on her though, right? She got a little, she got some potatoes, some yams back there, right? She got some yams back there. But it does not matter anymore, bro. It does not matter. You have your mid women getting flown out, right? You have your beautiful women getting flown out. Now, I'm going to just tell y'all right now, and I've said this before. If you like beautiful women, right, and I'm talking about your 7.5s, 8s, and 9s, if you like beautiful women who are on the tippity top of the scale, right, perfectly in shape, right, they're just beautiful, top notch. When they walk, they turn heads. Those chicks are for sale, and those chicks are usually probably ran through, right? They're usually probably ran through. Now, all of these chicks are ran through, but if you want a beautiful woman, listen, the competition is fierce, right? As you can see, the competition is fierce, right? You have a guy who's competing with Lil Wayne, right? One of the greatest rappers in modern day era, right? One of the greatest rappers to ever live, right? According to some, right? You're competing with Lil Wayne, right? I don't think the celebrity gets bigger than that unless we're talking about Drake, right? The celebrity doesn't get bigger than that. So Lil Wayne slid in her DMs, and you can tell like she's all high and mighty. She was like, "Yeah, Lil Wayne slid into my DMs, right? Lil Wayne slid into my DMs, and guess what? After the breakup, she took the bait. After the breakup, she took the bait. So what does that tell you? Where was her mind, right? Where was her mind, right? Her mind was still hypergamous. Her mind was still hypergamous, and there's no telling what happened for them to break up. Maybe she even caused it, right? Maybe she started doing things, right? Start acting a certain way, start exhibiting certain behaviors, right? Where, she started pushing him away or start poking at him or start doing just strange things. Y'all know how women get, right? Because if Lil Wayne slid in her DMs now, her ego is up through the roof. Her ego is up through the roof. Can't nobody tell her nothing. Lil Wayne slid in my DMs. If Lil Wayne slid into my DMs, that must mean this is how women's ego work, right? If Lil Wayne slid into my DMs, that must mean I'm worth something. That must mean I'm top notch. That must mean I'm higher than this loser that I'm dealing with, or higher than this guy that I'm dealing with. It must mean that, right? So women always calibrate their worth based on the highest dude that they've dealt with. This is why usually when women deal with high caliber men, top 10, top 20% of men, there is no coming back down. If they do so happen to come back down, that man is usually being emasculated and they usually settle for less. That's usually the case. But if a woman has been at the tippity top, right, the tippity top of the ladder, right, she's not going for anything else, especially in 2025. If a woman has been up that ladder, more than likely, if she can't find another dude as equal or higher than that or somewhere in that bracket, they're usually just going to be single. Truth, facts. They're usually just going to stay single, because if they can't get that same guy with the same finances, if they can't get that guy with the same digging stick, pause, no diddy, if they can't get that guy with the same status, they'll just stay single. They'll just stay single, get flown out here and there, right? Their minds are messed up after that. You can't go back down. See, men on the other hand, we'll deal with a wide array of women, because we're calibrated for beauty, right? We're calibrated for peace, right? That's what we're calibrated for. We're calibrated for femininity. That's what we're calibrated for. But women are calibrated for, resources, right? That's just how it is. It's not bad. They're calibrated for security, right? They're calibrated for the best possible genetic pool that I can get with. That's what they're calibrated for, right? And if she gets with somebody and another high caliber guy, slid into her DMs, guess what? She's going to try her hand with that. She tried her hand with that. She tried her hand with Lil Tunchi. She tried her hand with, Mr. Rap. Right? Mr. Rapper, she tried, and she gave up them guts. Right? And she felt all good. She felt all good saying it on camera. She said it with a little bit of attitude and everything. Yep. As soon as we broke up, right, I took the bait. Right? As soon as we broke up, I didn't respond. I didn't respond until after. I didn't respond to after we, and some may say, well, at least you respected him. Nah, you call that respect? Do you honestly call that respect? No. No. She literally kept it. If she respected him, she would have deleted it, right? If she respected it, she would have deleted it, right? She would have deleted the message. But what did she do? No, she kept the message, right? It's Lil Wayne, right? She kept the message. She wanted to keep it around. She wanted to keep it in her back burner, right? She'll keep it, save it for a rainy day when he start acting up, right? She'll save it for a rainy day when he started acting up. And guess what she did? Lo and behold, they broke up, right? She was bouncing on Wayne's digging stick the next day, I'm sure. Right? She was flown out the next day. She hit him up like, hey, remember, you sent me a rose. Hey, what's going on? Right? The next day, that same week, right? Many women today, they have a whole roster, right? Men can't even equate to what a lot of women have in their phones nowadays, bro. Many of these women, now I'm talking about from the pretty top-notch women all the way down to the mid women. They have five dudes in their phones, right? 10 dudes in their phone, 10 dudes that they're personally messaging. And then you have your beta male orbiters. And beta male orbiters, probably friends. And then they have social media, they have Instagram, they have Snapchat, they have Facebook, they have a variety of different men hitting them up all the time, especially if they're under 30. Right? Especially if they're under 30. You have women who are dealing with the, crazy ego. Right? This is why so many women are so masculine. This is why so many women are so masculine presenting, especially to your average Joe Smo, right? Especially to your average man. Because many of these girls have dealt with some sort of high level man, whether that's, celebrity, not saying all women, but many of them have, right? Whether they went to a party, or it doesn't even have to be a celebrity, just a guy that is high status, right? They've dealt with doctors, they've dealt with dentists, they've dealt with attorneys, they've dealt with engineers, they've dealt with some of them politicians, they've dealt with many different guys, right? Many different high-level guys who are making a shit ton of money. They've dealt with stockbrokers. They've dealt with many of these guys, right? And then here you go trying to be all, nice and bring them flowers and, trying to speak to them. They don't care nothing about that. Lil Wayne just slid in my DMs. What are you coming with? Are we going to Roof Chris? Right? Are we going to Hillstone? Where are we going? Right? Are we going to Mastro's? Where are we going? Are we going to Papado? Right? Are we going shopping? Where are we going? Where are we going? Lil Wayne just slid in my DMs. Gentlemen, just keep this in mind, right? You are never the only one, right? Now, I'm not saying all women, but most of these debaucherous women out here today, you're never the only one, right? They have a backup ready to go. They have your replacement ready to go. This is why you have to act in abundance. This is why you have to be an abundant man, right? This is why you need to get your resources up. This is why you need to take care of yourself. This is why you need to get in higher status, right? Because then you become the picker and not the picked, right? Because many women out here, they're in the position to pick, right? When you become the picker, right, you get to choose what female you get to deal with. You don't care what she got going on, right? Because you have an abundance of women to deal with. You have an abundance mindset. And you can pick this one. If you don't like her, you can pluck her back in the trash and pick another one. You don't like this one, you can pluck her back in the trash and get another one. Okay, you got one that you like. Okay, you could deal with her for a short term, long term, right? If she get wrong, pluck her back in the trash and you can get another one. That's what abundance is about. That's what abundance is about. Abundance is about just being in abundance, ninja, right? Abundance is about knowing that it does not matter, right? If this girl doesn't like you, it doesn't matter that this girl is acting crazy. It doesn't matter if that girl is acting crazy, right? In your mind, you believe that women are going to keep coming. Especially if you're in an abundance mindset, you believe that women are going to keep coming. They're going to keep coming, keep coming, keep coming, coming. They're going to keep coming, right? Just like money. If you're in an abundance mindset, you believe that there's going to be many opportunities for you to get money. There's going to be opportunities that present itself to put yourself in that position to be able to receive that money. You got to put yourself in an abundance mindset, right? But you have to know how women also operate out here as well. And this is a prime example. This video that I just showed you, right? And she's happy that a celebrity slid in her DM, right? She's happy, right? If you want to deal with women, if you want to deal with pretty women in general, you have to know that some of them, yes, they have dealt with celebrities. They've been smashed by your favorite rapper, right? They've been smashed by your favorite basketball player, soccer player, whatever you want to name, especially if they're on the prettier side, right? They switch these girls out like it's no tomorrow. And that's an after pill. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.